Yes, indeed. We got that boy Big Game James in the building and that boy Boss Cowboy Sports in the building. And we get ready to talk about these Cowboys. What's up with it, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Can you hear me good? Can you hear me good?
Great.
All right. Hey, it's Big Game James back in the house with Boss Cowboys. You know how we do on the freestyle tip tonight.
Exactly.
Well, we be freestyling all the time. Y'all just never know it.
The time.
Like
we don't ever show up to this show with no agendas.
No, we just be knowing them Cowboys though.
Yeah. So we gonna put it like this. On days like this, y'all definitely lead the show. So it's one of those things to where it's on your mind.
What y'all want to talk about?
Yeah, if it's on your mind, we go just start talking. You know what I mean? But on days like
let's let them know, since we was already talking off air. What's good, Vondell Jackson, Boothang? What's good, Steve Lumpton, Gambino? I know you got a lot of people in the house over there, but I just wanted to say, got a nice little show coming up Tuesday.
Yeah, we do, bro. Yeah,
might as well talk to people about that. Let them know.
Well, yeah. So we got David Hellman coming in. And we got RJ Ochoa. And Jessica said she already shared. We appreciate that. You know, we definitely excited about, those guys coming in because obviously, we preparing for training camp, right?
Right.
So when you bring in these guys, you bringing in guys who kind of saw things a little bit closer than we did. So they go be able to kind of bring us a little bit clues on some of the battles that could be up and coming, so right. I feel you on that. Like, I'm excited about this one, and we got a lot more other stuff coming up, but these guys are fully committed and ready to talk Cowboys with us, man, and we gonna obviously keep that popping. So
yeah, definitely. And I haven't really got to ever really talk to RJ, but definitely been talked to Dave a few times. He was on the hype a few times. Mm-hmm. We had a great time with him. One thing I like about Dave Hellman is his candid. He's just like he's just real to the point. He don't really sugarcoat a lot of things, and he's pretty honest in what he sees. He gives you pretty much straight up answers, especially when they're dealing with the Cowboys in like position battles. So that's why I'm interested to really hear what he has to say, especially because, he's got the real close ear to it. So I just, want to see what some of these guys are really looking like before we head to camp, which is like right around the corner, less than 30 days, man. It starts the 21st of July back in Oxnard, and I can't wait till that happens.
Yeah, me too, man. And it's going to be something, bro. Like,
got some questions?
Yeah, what we got?
Okay, got two questions. First, Vondell Jackson. What's up with you, Vondell? Been a while. He says, do we pick up any more free agent vets before camp?
No.
I say no.
No.
Unless there's a major injury.
Yeah. Injury will be the only reason why that would happen.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done.
And then we got another question from Juan Madrid. What's up, Juan? I ain't seen you in a while. Is this defense going to be revamped or just another version of last year with different players?
Revamp.
Definitely revamped. It's got to be definitely better than it was last year because it was one of the worst defenses in Dallas Cowboys history.
Yep.
So it can't be any worse than that. So it's definitely got to be revamped, and it's not going to be the same thing that you saw from last year, in my opinion. And it's going to be different players because you got a whole new rookie class. So I definitely think it's going to be different. You have a different energy. I feel the energy is a lot different with Dan Quinn than it was with Mike Nolan. And like I said, I wrote that tweet. I made that tweet, boss, when I was saying, and we didn't really get to expand upon it. I wanted to get your opinion, your thoughts on it, where I was saying that, since Mike Nolan came in with McCarthy, that was his boy, maybe he didn't feel the pressure much as like, because when you bring your boy in, you think you're going to be there for at least a few years, right?
Yeah.
You don't think you're going to get fired first year. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was bad, especially with the COVID. Especially with the COVID, because that's your built-in excuse for real. Like, hey, it was COVID. We had all these injuries. We had one of the worst injuries in the year. We can do this, Mike. We can come back next year. You know what I'm saying? That's what you would be thinking in your head. So maybe you don't feel that crazy pressure because you think you're going to have a few years to get this together. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas you have a Dan Quinn who's coming in, and he doesn't have that friendship with the Mike McCarthy. He's not, didn't come in as boys, and he's coming in with something to prove because he was coaching with Atlanta, and he left on Atlanta on bad terms. He didn't leave. They weren't 6-0 when he left. They were 0-5. You feel what I'm saying? So he already himself said he has something to prove. So I said that's why it's better for the Dallas defense with Dan Quinn over the Mike Nolan, because you have a guy who's going to come in with something to prove, and not somebody who's feeling like, man, this is maybe a little lax.
Right. Nah, man. Yeah, that defense is finna be totally revamped, man. And I've been, all the way keeping my ear to the ground of what's been going on. One of the key things that I think some people might not have caught the clue on is the coaches told you the schemes that's coming, right? So the fact that Dan Quinn been in a 4-3 defense for the last 10 years, right? And then his coaches that have been kind of promoted are also 4-3 coaches. They hinted out about the 3-4, but
they got a lot of 3-4 guys in the sets up front though. I think that what they got that was just because they wanted to be multiple. But I think it was always going to be a 4-3 base.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying?
Yep, totally. And that's going back to that question. You know what I'm saying? Is are we gonna be the same old defense? No, we not, bro. I'll guarantee you that because Jerry came out December 12th, man, and he said it. He said it clear as day. He said, man, the biggest mistake of the whole season was going from that 4-3 to that 3-4. And so when the boss, and him and Steven said that, when the boss, and they agreed on that publicly as we were still in the season, that's why we saw all that drastic defensive change this offseason. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's gonna be different. And because I think this is what they doing big. I want to get your thoughts on this, my brother.
All right.
I think they saying we know our offense good. We just can't have our defense all-time bad while our offense almost all-time good. So let's get our defense at least decent.
Yep. I think that's the mantra.
Yeah.
Just get it decent. It don't have to. And if you hear a lot of people around, a lot of the pundits and the Cowboys people around the area, they're saying the same thing. You don't have to be a top 5 defense. Just want it in that middle of the pack because we know the offense is good enough. It's been proven. Yeah, it's got to work on some red zone offense. I hear everybody always saying that, but like I said, I'm not worried about no Kellen Moore year 3 with this whole team again. I'm feeling really good about Kellen Moore year 3 with this whole offense again. I'm feeling great actually. So I feel like they're going to score a lot of points, and that's not going to be the issue. The issue is going to be, can they stop people? The issue is, or can they get the turnovers when they need to? The issue is, can they stop them in the red zone when they get inside the 20? The issue is, can they get the big sack? You know what I mean? Can they get good field position for Dak Prescott? He doesn't have to start at the 20 or the 25-yard line when you're starting usually at the 35-yard line. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you don't have to do 12-play drives. That's what you want this defense to be able to do, is to be able to help the offense in that aspect, to be able to get the ball back to you quick and then be able to score quick and not have to take all these long, drawn-out drives. And if you don't do a 12-play drive and get a field goal, that's frustrating.
Right. No, totally. And Big, I want to kind of flip the script. This is not planned. We have not planned this, but I've been looking at the coaches, because I'm getting ready to break all these coaches down. I want to kind of go through some of these guys, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about that. Burgers and blitzes. We were going to talk about that, but we got off the subject and it never came back to us. So this is perfect. I definitely want to talk about these coaches.
Yeah, because I've been really studying these guys, man, and just really trying to get a feel of our potential, right? Because I agree with you on Kellen Moore. Going into year 3, y'all get ready for a wiser Kellen Moore, especially with them bringing in Ben, right, to kind of help strengthen him in the red zone. So I think with Ben McAdoo, that's somebody that's going to come in that's going to be the yin and yang to him. You know what I mean? To where you add an experience to youth that's going to help the game planning and execution. So I'm bullish on Kellen Moore. I'm very bullish. I think it's going to start coming together for him even better, you know? And I definitely love Kellen Moore from this standpoint, Big, just to get your thoughts on it real quick. I like Kellen Moore from the standpoint of he's already, in my opinion, in a real good place from how he started. Like I was just on the show. I just did a show with Moving the Chains, and we was just kind of talking about a lot of people are almost either you like Kellen or you hate Kellen, but it's no in between. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking we treating Kellen like we treated Dak, you know, to where Dak came in so hot that we start putting 6 and 7 year veteran quarterback expectations on a guy going into year 2, year 3. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some of the stuff you just got to wait on, man. Like, just be honest. But look at his base.
Well, see, here's my problem with that. I mean, but look, here's my problem with that. Just like you're showing these stats right here. Since he's been, I mean, the only reason why they had the offense dropped off last year was because Dak got hurt. His first couple years with Dak at the helm and him as the offensive coordinator, they had a top 10 offense, top 5 scoring offense. I mean, total offense, I think it was like top 2 the first year they had it. It just didn't look pretty all the time, but this has been like a top 10 offense the first 2 years that Kellen Moore has been there, and it was number 1 in dang near every category before Dak got hurt.
Facts. And
Dak was leading in like dang near every major category, and they're saying Kellen Moore is trash. I never get that. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
They'll want to find something, just like you said, when you nitpicking with Dak Prescott. Okay, first when Dak came out, oh, he can't throw. Then he started throwing. Oh, he can't do this. Then he was doing that. Oh, he ain't that. Then you got, oh, he ain't this. You get him Martin. Then he starts, you know what I mean? It was every time it was something with Dak. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, Dak can't throw deep. And then he started showing you could throw deep. Oh, Dak can't throw for a lot of yards. Then he throws for almost 5,000. Oh, well, he can't beat he can't be 500. It's like, man, come on.
Come on, man.
Stop. Cut it out.
And Kellen Moore is getting that Dak treatment, man. It's like, yes, he's a 14-year-old with a full beard. Yes, he's a 12-year-old that's 6'3". But at the end of the day, he's still a kid. You know what I mean? And I just think people, the Cowboy fans, I love us to life, but sometimes I just don't think that we realistic. Just being all the way honest, I don't think we realistic all the time. So, like, as we going through the coaches, because this is where the training camp starts.
How are you? This was Steve be killing me because he's the anti Kellen dog.
Oh,
But when he says show more consistency, you're going to just mention the red zone. Where else does Kellen Moore, to me, need to show consistency where we're feeling like you don't feel good about Kellen Moore? People are excited about the offense. If you were feeling like Kellen Moore was not a good coordinator, you wouldn't feel good about the offense, would you?
Exactly.
I mean, would you? I mean, would you feel good about offense if your offensive coordinator was trash?
No.
Wouldn't matter how much talent if your offensive coordinator didn't know how to put your players in the positions to score points and make plays. He does that.
Yeah, and big.
I don't know,
always
man.
ask the question, man. How do you get better than first?
I mean,
how? It's like sometimes we gotta be thankful, like, and then it's like it's more stuff to fix than the people that's almost there, right? Like, it's amazing that we put so much energy on Dak. We put so much energy on Kellen Moore, and we ignored so many times Crawford and Anthony Brown and Xavier Woods. We put the energy on the guys that for the most part are making A's. Yes.
Or saving the team. If Dallas couldn't score, wow. If we didn't have the offense to be able to score or to be able to come back, I mean, it would have been even worse.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? This offense has saved this team for how many years?
Yes.
I mean, let's think about it. How many years has this offense saved this team? Period. And it's saved them these last few years.
Right.
They're going to go back to the 2018 team, but toward the end it started falling off a little bit. But we understood the 2018 defense was a lot better than Dallas has seen in a very long time. So that's why a lot of people want to be able to rekindle that fire, because it was kind of a good 1-2. It was like you got Amari in the building. You started seeing that offense start to open up. The defense was holding it down while the offense was still getting it together. And now it's kind of like, now they finally got the offense the way they want it. Now it's like they got to get the defense. It's like they never have both of them together at the same time. And this needs to be the year where they can get them both together, synchronizing at the same time. Because if they can do that, boss, if you got a pretty decent defense and you got some talent with it and your offense is explosive, you can make a run.
Exactly. And then they also majorly invested in the defense. It's like when you listening to podcasters like Big Game James and you listening to Boss Cowboy Sports, one thing with us, man, is we not, for lack of better words, the complaining types. We the solution types, So when we talk about a problem, we go also follow it up on how we think it can be fixed. You know what I mean? It's too many, I believe, of our fans that's legitimately hurt. We've been waiting a while to get back into championship, even, contention, and we haven't sniffed it. So I think it's making us almost like Debbie Downers and complainers and and just, always, groveling over something. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things to where I felt what Vach said one day when he was like, man, it been 26 years since but damn it, this is our year. Some people
I'm not saying all that.
No, but I feel you on that. But I'm saying it from this standpoint. I like where we are. Because all the stuff we used to say, Big, right? Like, we don't get dogs. You can't say that this year, bro. We got the dogs.
No, you can't say that. I can say that there is differences the last couple years. I can agree with you.
You see what I'm saying? And you know how people used to say, man, we never draft defense. We all can't say that this year, man. You can't. It's like, when you see people making the changes that you said you want to see, you can't complain. You can't complain.
Yeah, you can't keep complaining. And I agree totally with that. It's kind of like you in a relationship, right?
Right.
And you're saying, I want you to make these changes. I want you to do this and do that. And then you start doing them. but yet you find something else that's wrong with me. But you telling me to make changes, and I'm doing the changes, but now you want to find something else. It's like, well, why the heck I'm gonna keep changing then? Then I'm gonna just stay the same, right?
Say it, brother. Say it.
You just gonna feel I'm gonna just stay the same then if you just gonna complain about everything. So that is totally right on that, boss Cowboys, because you know. But you know what? I can definitely say me and you are to that point or that person, because we have said, you know me, I get on Baby Nuts Jones.
Yeah,
we have got on the Joneses and the boys, but if we definitely see something they do something right, we don't sit there and just be saying, "Oh, the Joneses suck. See, we ain't never gonna win." We don't do that. We see, hey, that was a good move by Steven, and I'm gonna go ahead and give him props on that. See, and that's why I feel like that's what you have to do. Just like you said, if you see that we all been clamoring for defense, they went hard on defense last year. If you really look at it,
they did,
because they just got CeeDee Lamb, but they went hard on defense last year.
They did.
I mean, look at the first 4 picks after CeeDee Lamb was defense, wasn't it?
Right. That's fair. And
they went after defense last year too.
Right. They did.
So, and they went after defense this year. And so they're saying, and they went after a defensive coordinator that had some success out there.
Right.
So they trying to get everything that can make it happen for the success of the team to try to get it back to that level that it's been before. So I will give them that they are making the attempts to do it. Now we have to see it on the field.
We got a fire question, bro. Check this one.
What's up?
You know, William, he gonna come in. Like, if we need content to talk about, just William.
Hey, Chris Davis is good too. Hey, William's good, but Chris Davis over here, you've been giving some fire stuff over here. I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead with that stuff.
You good,
boss.
And also, Moving the Chains said, I had a great time. Me too, man. I just got off the show with Moving the Chains. Yeah, we killed it. But go ahead.
Shout out to Moving the Chains. She's a great writer.
Let's go with your guy first.
No, he's just been giving great comments.
Okay, cool.
Because he was just saying, I'm just gonna give him a quick shout out, Chris Davis. He was just saying, bouncing off of what you said,
right.
The fan base wants to kick everything positive to the curb and kick everything that don't work. They want to fire Kellen, who's ever been the OC for number 1 tour offense in the league, but they want to rehire Chris Richard, who had 31st every year in takeaways. You know what I'm saying? He's like, our fan base is the dumbest in all sports. I feel you. Shout out to. I ain't mad at you, but let me give a shout out to Mike Brown because he came with the $20 holla. I gotta give him that thought.
Alrighty there.
BGJ and Boss Cowboy salute. Love the work. I think we need to protect the investment on the offense. O-line is the key. Your thoughts? Sorry.
We got 2 good questions. I don't care who we tackle first. I'm gonna tackle William. Let's take you.
Go ahead and tackle William, and then we'll hit Mike after that.
Because that's the $20.
Okay. Okay, that's the holla.
Yeah, because you got to take the holla.
Hey, who?
It ain't personal like that, but you know how it go.
Got to take the hollers. Got to take the hollers
first. But William,
so
he said, in your opinion, how long will it take for Quinn's defense to gel? It won't take that long because they basically going back.
No, I don't think so.
They going back. And see, they said that Sean Lee said that when he went to talk to what's that guy? Damn, man, FX1 guy.
Who?
Oh, he did an interview with him, man.
Is it a football player or a regular dude?
Colin. When he did
Colin
that interview, and he made he said that we going back. So that's when I really started cluing in on that 4-3. You know, even more is the fact that they gave the clues. So they made it very, very much. And I could pull the clip. You know, I could pull that clip in about 5 seconds. But I know you trust me. William. I could pull that clip to where he said it.
I trust you.
Yeah, man. And he said it's going to make the linebackers play faster. So that front is going to be fine. It's that back end that's going to take a little while to gel.
Right.
I do think that back end going to take about 4 to 8 games.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
Because they need to figure that out.
Yeah, and it's a little sloppy too. I'm being all the way honest on the look of the back 4. Like, Anthony Brown is still in the mix. You got Kazi still coming off Achilles, even though he's had a miraculous recovery. He never was a hitter. He's always been just a tackler. Then you got, we got a knee issue with Donovan Wilson, you know, and we don't know how that's going to turn out. And he don't. Really
I got
have
some
a lot of
noise
phone
on that
reps.
too. I got some noise on that too.
Go.
First, I'm gonna let Mike Brown know. Boss Cowboys is we got to get Boss up to 1K, so that's what y'all need to go do. Go over there and subscribe to him, either after the show or whenever you can, because you get him up to that 1K, then we can go ahead and start rolling with some super chats. That's why he can't really get it right now. So apologize about that, Mr. Mike Brown, but that's why that is going on. But that's why we need to go over there. I've been telling y'all, go over there. The quicker y'all all go sub and get Boss Cowboys up there, then we on both channels going nutty.
Man.
You feel me? We both going nutty calling them super chats. So it's coming. It's coming. So it's
man,
it's
help
coming
me
around.
with them super chats, y'all. I need it, bro. Come
got
on
you.
now. I need them subs, bro.
Get them subs up, baby. Y'all know what it is.
We grinding, man. Like me and Big Game James grinding, bro. You see this, bro.
And then I'm trying to tell you, Solomon Page,
another show.
And he go hard. Just got off of moving the chains, man. You see the fire production over there. Get over there and sub my guy. But listen, my guy over here, Mike Brown, when he said he thinks we need to protect that offense and the investment on the O-line. I feel that, but I feel like they are. I feel like they're always going to do that. I feel like the Cowboys are really never going to neglect that offensive line. Once they set that in stone, was starting with Tyron Smith back in the day. They've always had offensive lines. We've seen the Great Wall when they had Emmett. You feel me? So it's not like Dallas ain't have offensive lines, but I feel like they always going to have that. You know what I mean? Because Dallas is always going to want to be able to have an explosive offense, because that's what sells tickets, right? Jerry always going to want to have that offense. Ooh. So it's always going to be that offense on the forefront. So that offensive line, everything, that's always going to be the investment, because that's what sells the tickets.
Tickets sell from
that's what sells them tickets, man.
That's so true, bro.
Offense sell tickets.
Defense
wins championships.
It does.
That's not always true, but you know what I mean.
Well, I say this in terms of protecting Dak. I think it started with what Marcus Mosher talked about. See, sometimes you can look at it from acquisitions of protecting Dak. Sometimes you got to look at the changes that they made to protect Dak, sometimes tweaking your current guys, i.e. T. Smith surgery.
Yeah.
And we actually kind of got lucky with it, right? When you really think about it, he went out so early, right, that it finally gave him time to be able to get the surgery to maybe put another 4 years on him. So
I just hope he's just not saying all that stuff. You know how they be in the media, boss.
Don't be too honest right now. But I mean, because you know,
I'm just hoping they ain't doing that.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you know, boss, you know they be doing. I hope they just ain't in the media and just saying all that good stuff to make us feel all good and all ice cream, rain, all that good stuff. And that arm messed up as soon as you take one hit. You feel me?
Right. So,
like
I'm just then the season started.
Right. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm just hoping, Tyron, you ain't lying to us in the media. Don't lie to us on this. I hope that you was really being honest when you said your arm was messed up that whole time for all them years. You better not be lying to us, dog, because if that's the truth and you really are feeling like real, I'm excited, but don't you be lying, dog.
No, don't lie to us.
Because that's good. You feel me? Because Leo Collins is looking good. Zach Martin is looking good. Y'all looking good, and don't you be lying like that. You better be true.
You better be. But if you come out there and give us just another 11 games or something like that, everybody that was super high on Slater go come right back. Because they quiet right now. They quiet. They ain't saying too much. They done all kind of came back around. They now drinking the Parsons Kool-Aid. They done took a whole sip of that juice. You know, no complaining, no crying, no anger. Everybody cool. But yeah, let him get hurt and be out again. Man, everybody go start quickly. Slater, see, we messed up. Should have got, you know. Yeah, but that's just one of the pieces, right? But then
I got another holler.
Okay, yeah, we got to take the holler. Let's go.
It's a question. $4.99 holler for Pee Wee with the dreads, 97. for the 499 holla. Hey ho with the 499 holla. He says, why Dallas won't play Pollard and Zeke at the same time? Imagine them both on the field with Cooper, Gallup, Lamb, for Pollard at fullback, Zeke at running back. But your guy, the OC, already had a great video about that, correct? Where he's talking about the 20 personnel, having both of those guys on the field. Because just like you said, getting Tony Pollard out in space where he can really do his damage. Get him out in the space with a linebacker. Get him out in space even with a corner because he played receiver in college. Get Zeke, flashed him out. Have Pollard stay in a running back. Flash Zeke out. Confuse all of them. I mean, dog, get tricky with it. And I feel like year 3 with Kellen, I think he's going to do that as well. Just my opinion, boss.
Yeah, and since you queued that up, I'm going to play that real quick with the OC because I think they did a fantastic job of breaking it down. Y'all listen real quick. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So Zeke is Zeke. So what is Pollard ceiling then?
Ooh, as far as the running game or just overall?
I think they need to use
wait to see if somebody say Kamara. If somebody say Kamara, that's just going to be like, man, that would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But what's the ceiling?
Yeah. Kamara.
But he ain't going. Yeah, but he ain't going. Yeah, he's special. And he ain't going to get the tick.
Yeah, and then Kamara is not Pollard is not a Kamara. Kamara is special.
Right.
I mean, listen, Pollard is good. Nothing against Pollard, but he ain't Alvin Kamara. Kamara is a guy that actually showed toughness in between the tackles, showed explosiveness and like next level elusiveness against first level and second level defenders. He's a very, very unique back, right? Pollard is your explosive type back, big play back. How do you use Pollard most effectively? I said this for a couple years now. Use Pollard like you used him on the pitch outs, quick pitches, screen games. Use him on misdirection plays where you get him one-on-one just like this play versus a slow linebacker that can't catch him like LVE. No offense, LVE. But I'm saying, here's the deal. You get him one-on-one in space. That's how you utilize him. That's where he was most effective in college at Memphis, one-on-one in space. You're going to bear down and put 8 and 9 in the box. There it is, the quick toss right here. Get him in space. Here he is again. Make him miss. Make him miss. Here it is. Spin around. Make him miss. All right, and get a big chunk of yards down the field. So that's how you use this guy. And then in between the hashes, you're going to use Ezekiel Elliott, but you just want Ezekiel Elliott to have some burst and make some big 20, 30, 40-yard plays here and there, right? Which you can get out of Zeke, which you hadn't seen really in the last couple years. So I think those are the two differences between the two backs. But with all that said, guys, and this is my last thought, we are tough on Zeke, but Zeke is a special human being. That's how I explore the defense, especially if you show that you are a questionable tackling team. That's what I do.
So you line up and then right before the snap, you motion Pollard onto the outside. You still got Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield.
Yep, vice versa. You can run either one of them, or upon the snap, right? Even if you don't motion, even if it's set hut, and I'm doing a play action handoff to Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm doing a flare route, or I have Lamb, I have him playing the Y, and I do a quick 2 to him, right? Because now we got ISO 1-on-1, got ISO, so now we got yards after catch. Right, I can do a combination of things out of that formation. I could do what's called, I could do a 399, right? I could do a clear out, run an inside receiver to the sideline with a quick out route. That's a very, very effective quick underneath route, yards after catch. I could do a middle screen out of that. I could do a play action rollout with using one of those running backs as a lead block, a quick rollout pass, right? A flood type of situation. I could do.
Man, I can't listen to OC like that, man. That OC, man, that boy.
Yeah, he'll go all day.
He'll go all day, but he was basically talking about.
He's making good points though.
He was making hella 5 points on how to use that 20 personnel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I ain't gonna even lie, man. I love the final word. I love everybody that's a part of the final word. I do really feel like this is a dream team of Cowboy content people. You know, just being all the way honest. And then just to kind of tell y'all again, a recap, we do have coming in Tuesday, David Hellman. Because, you know, it's more people in here now, so I just want to tell them. We have 2 Cowboys insiders coming in Tuesday, so y'all make sure y'all put that on your calendars at 8:00. It's gonna be another one of them old 5 shows that we're gonna, have for the fans as we gearing up for training camp. And so we've already had that discussion on 20 personnel. Make sure you go back and hit that like and subscribe for Silver and Blue Nation and Boss Cowboys Sports, because that's where you go find that content to where we covered how we can use the 20 personnel. Which, for those who don't know, I want to be clear on what that is. That's 2 running backs with no tight ends, meaning you coming out there with 3 receivers, 2 running backs. And when you have that particular personnel, there's certain things you can do with it, and that's what the OC was talking about. We got any more hollers?
No hollers, but Pee Wee does ask, should we sign Earl Thomas or Geno Atkins? I'm cool on Earl. I mean, I just feel like that's just over with now. But I would definitely still look at a Geno Atkins if he was healthy, because I don't know what's going on with that now, because I know he was supposed to meet with the Dallas Cowboys doctors just to meet and then to see if he was going to get a clean bill of health. And obviously people are going to look at him regardless. But also I still feel like now Stephen Jones, you know how he's notorious with, we like the guys that we have, or we like the people we have. I feel like they're already so far into camp, unless there's a major injury. I feel like they like Brent Urban. I think they like Osa. I think they like Bohan. I think they like who they have. That's why they brought those people in, because that's who they want to deal with. And unless there's a major injury or a dude wants to come in super cheap, he ain't coming to Dallas.
No, it would. Yeah, I mean, in terms of acquisitions right now, I mean, I done already closed the menu. You know what I mean? I done already sent it back to the shelf. The food is on its way.
Yeah, it's over with.
The food is on its way, y'all. You know what I mean? So the only way we go see stuff now is injuries. That's it. I mean, and that's pretty much for every team, and almost rightly so. You know, they say that, acquisitions is a, 24/7 thing, 365, but they don't really mean that. You know what I mean? They do close the door and then focus on our guys, and you just went through mini camp. You just went through OTAs. You just got through teaching them the basics. You would have to bring in somebody else and reteach them, and they go.
I want to ask you a quick question, boss.
Yeah.
On this, people talking about, on the feed, Chris Davis, Jay Lombardi, they're talking about the Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott thing.
What you mean?
No, I'm just saying they're talking about the combination, how, they can bounce off each other and whatever.
Okay.
I want to ask you this. I think that this combo is coming to an end very soon. Ooh. So I feel like they need to get it out as quick as Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard.
No, I
feel like they need. I feel like they need to hurry up and make this thing click right now, because I don't feel like the people talking about long term. No, I don't think this is long term. I think this need to be happening within this next couple of years. These two making it happen, because I feel like that about to be broke up.
Yeah, and they already paid Zeke. So with Zeke paid, and Zeke smart, man. See, Zeke got a dad in his life that's very active. So he not one of those people that don't have people that's very involved in his life giving him good advice, because one of the smartest things that Zeke did was hold out. Let's be all the way honest.
That was super smart.
He saw the writing on the wall. We was coming with Kellen Moore, a pass-happy coach. Dak was starting to rise. If it was any time to get your money, it was then.
That was the best time, and you were still young. That was the real big reason you were still young. You didn't have the mileage on you, and you could force their hand.
Right.
That was smart.
Right, and so now that he paid, he's now priority. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so Pollard could only unseat him by super exponentially outballing him. And then they would go cheaper. They would go cheaper, but it's not going to happen. To your point, he not even built like Zeke. So they two different styles of running backs. So
you couldn't build your offense around no Tony Pollard.
You couldn't. I mean, especially not the young Tony Pollard. A Tony Pollard with 12 more manufactured pounds.
I'd have to, because he's definitely not.
He wouldn't even fit his frame. It would be like LVE, where you put it on, but it don't fit
he ain't even right. he ain't a little dude either, but he just not. You see certain backs that even if they like you, we've talked about a boss. You seen a guy who's 210, another guy who's 210. He could be a wiry 210, and he could be a stout 210. You feel me?
Yeah.
And when I look at Tony Pollard, he ain't weak, but he just not the back to me that's your bell cow for 17 games. That's not Tony Pollard. That he won't make it. He'll get injured, and he just won't be effective. That's why Ezekiel is there, because Ezekiel's 225 that's strong pounds.
Right. yeah, they totally different, man. And see, you just being honest, and I see exactly where you're going. I don't think everybody else see where you're going. Pollard finna be the odd man out.
Dog, he ain't got much longer here.
Especially, and see, Zeke know it. That's why I said Zeke smart. That's why he did
Getting
all
back
that
on
PR
his game.
stuff. Right.
Yep.
He did that, showing them that I'm working every day. Because like, if I don't run this rookie off, they will not rookie. You know what I mean? If I don't run Pollard off, they would go younger. So I gotta show them that I got another 2 or 3 a good year, 4 years in me. Even if you really got 2, you want to have the appearance like I got 4. You know?
Right.
And so,
because it'll make it easier for them to move on from Pollard, because they could always say we can always get another running back to back up Zeke, because they're not going to pay Tony Pollard on a second contract. What kind of money are they going to pay him?
No, they not. They definitely
not. That wouldn't be smart on paying a running money to a second running back.
Man, what's that running back name that went to the Browns?
Kareem Hunt.
I was thinking this today, man. I want to get your opinion on this. Even at a decline, I feel like at worst, Zeke is a Hunt, which is still real good. So, like, you see what I'm saying? Because Hunt came in with like 4.7 speed. Zeke came in with 4.4 speed. So even as he lose speed, as long as he can still be that battering ram
and be elusive,
yeah, he's still useful. So it's like,
man, Zeke is still different. Like, to me, Ezekiel, even if I don't think he's the 2016 Zeke, but he's still different. He's still a different back. Zeke is just different, dog. Like, even like a 80% Zeke is still better than some of these other backs, because Zeke is just different, dog. Like, he's just a different type of running back. He was built for that. He was built to do that. I feel like he was built to run the ball.
Yeah, because his durability right now is straight up freaky.
Oh, his durability is ridiculous, dog. Think about this. He's not missed what? Due to injury, for real, he's been a freaking bell cow, and you know them carries that he's gotten? Yep. It ain't like Dallas ain't been trying to run him in the ground. They've been giving him the rock. You feel me?
Look at Chubb, right? They put 1 year of major activity on him. Next year, out of there, you know, he came back.
They went and got Hunt.
Yeah.
And
so all these other running backs except Henry the only person that's durable like Zeke. Everybody else that have a good year, you don't see him again.
And I still need to see him for real, because Zeke's been doing it since 2016. Henry's just now starting to get tickers. Remember, he was sharing carries with DeMarco Murray his first few years. He wasn't getting that work. That's why I feel like he's going so nutty. I need to see him, because this is what I feel. I feel like when you 6'3", 250, you're going to decline quicker as a running back. So I think these years that he has right now are great, but I feel like he's the type, I could be totally wrong, because he could be a totally different cyborg type guy. But those guys big like that, I feel like their decline comes quicker, like when you saw Eddie George and them type of tall, big running backs. Steven Jackson, when they start to decline, they decline quick.
Right. Yeah.
So I want to see how much tread he can have, because he's eating that ball now.
No, he is. And I think he has, though, looking at Henry,
he's different.
Not just different. I think you see the other signs that make you feel good, like the pink lips. You know what I mean? He looked like a clean cut guy. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like Gallup, right? Gallup is clean as they can be, but not every athlete is like that. Some of those athletes kind of do both. and it does
Right.
take away, right? Some athletes like Deion Sanders, he didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he didn't do anything, right? Michael Irvin, he did, but nobody outworked him, you know?
Right.
So it's but the guys that to me go long in these careers are the people that are like die hard crazy about their bodies, like
Yeah.
AP, you know what I mean? People that's like eat, sleep,
James
drink.
Harrison.
James Harrison, Jerry Rice, where they just,
Yeah.
you know, I run uphill 2 miles and stuff like that. Like when
You're right.
Jerry Rice
You're right.
said, when T.O. said he tried to work out with Jerry Rice only once. Now everybody know to this day T.O. a workout warrior. And he said he couldn't keep up with Jerry Rice for one day. So I think that's kind of how Henry is, and I think that's where he might be a little bit more durable than Zeke. Just being honest.
I can feel you on that, because you have to, the ones like you said that have lasted is them freakish ones, the ones that are on it 24/7, like
Right.
that's all they do. Like that's all they do. They're obsessed with it.
Right.
And the ones that are obsessed with it, them the ones that play 15 to 16 years because their bodies are still young.
Right. And that's gonna be Dak. Dak is that guy. Dak is the
I believe
obsessed
that
guy.
Dak can play some long years.
Brady with the
Because he's
TB12, green juice,
Yeah.
and all kind.
Yeah.
You know,
He's obsessed.
Action. You know what you call it, acupuncture, all that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sleeping in, like T.O. was sleeping in a hybrid chamber. What you call that? You know what I'm saying?
The hybrid chamber, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
To preserve his body.
Yeah. So
You
it's,
think he's, I mean, why you think he 40-some years old can still be out there working?
yeah, run a 4.5 probably right now. You know what I mean?
He could play in the NFL right now.
So yeah, so when it come to you know, Zeke, I'm glad that you turned up this offseason, but it also says because you know, a lot of people knocking Zeke, right? They keep saying, you know, he was fat. But we both know as coaches, you coached, I coached, right? You played, I played. Sometimes people try stuff in the offseason that ain't good. Like sometimes, and coaches will tell you to do it. Like coaches will tell you, this year we want you to bulk up. We need 10 pounds. We gonna use you different this year, right? So then you don't even know it's a conversation about putting 10 pounds on you, and then people see you lose your speed and they call you fat, not even understanding that it was the coaches that told you to bulk up. Nobody can tell me that they did not tell Neil to bulk up. Neil was playing last year at 217.
hell yeah. He looks totally different.
He looks totally different. They told him, bro, to bulk up.
You playing linebacker.
You're playing linebacker
You need to
in
get
Dallas,
bigger.
man. Go ahead and go get on the creatine. Go eat you some peanut butter. You know what I mean?
Go get big.
Go get big. Now, we not going to see the same speed on him, though. And people got to get ready for that. This man put in 13 pounds of muscle quick. That's going to have a side effect, man. And people got to be ready for that. But so I think sometimes some of our athletes even get a bad rap. Just being all the way honest with you, bro.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know, man. In my opinion, I just feel like Zeke didn't come in as motivated last year. I feel like maybe he did. From my perspective, he got the money. I'm not saying he got lazy, but it just seemed like, man, this wasn't. It was. I feel like it was more taken for granted. That's what I feel like. It was more taken for granted, and I think maybe some eyes were opened, just like you said, maybe all the way around. And you know, it was a changing of the guard, in my opinion, too. With that money, with Dak getting his money, and now it's not Zeke that stirs the drink. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now when you ain't the guy that everybody's talking about, the stirring the drink now, and everybody's talking about Dak, you know what, boss? You start getting in that gym a little bit more. You start working out a little bit harder. You start showing videos. You start getting back on that thing, because guess what? You ain't the guy no more.
No. Right.
This is Dak's team. This ain't Zeke's team.
No, this Dak's team. No, it is clearly Dak's team now. Oh man, it's not even close. Hey, and then yeah, man, let's get some super chats going on and some questions. You know, it's wide open right now. Yeah, whatever y'all want to talk about, getting prepared for training camp, we ready to talk about it. In the meantime, we got the coaches back up.
Okay.
All right,
Let's talk about these coaches.
So with the coaches, man, I've been really, really kind of looking at these guys, man, and I don't know if I want to give it away early because I'm researching these boys. But I give it away though. Because who are the people that you? Let's just stick with the offense because the defense is worse. Because I've been looking at this, I got some problems with the defense, but just going with the offense, like. Who do you feel great about? Who do you feel like? Because I got some people I'm concerned with and some people I feel great about. What's your thoughts?
All right, so I like Lunda Wells. He came over from the Giants, I believe.
Yes,
I thought he did a pretty good job with getting. You lose a Blake Jarwin. You got. I thought Blake Bell was adequate last year. And you got Dalton Schultz to have a career year and step his game up. So I definitely I like that. I like that addition, Lunda Wills.
Yes, man.
Me
too.
Who we got? Adam Henry,
hold on,
receivers.
Let me add to that too, because when I was looking at him, and I'm gonna tell y'all just how I think, just so that y'all know. I judge coaches by the group. I judge players by the individual. So to Big Game James' point, you saw the best Schultz ever when Wells came in. And even Bell was okay. You know? To me, my gut feeling about him, especially how Schultz just kind of his swag seemed different. He didn't drop anything. He seemed like the type of guy that just know how to motivate you and make you believe in yourself. Because Schultz was different, bro. Schultz was different. Like all of us, if you had any kind of common sense, was like this was a wasted pick. Like being honest, Schultz had more penalties than he had catches.
Right. I mean, his 2019 season was nothing. It was nothing. I was ready for be like, get him out of here. Why is he here? He had like less than 5 catches, didn't he? He had 5 or 6 catches, didn't he?
He had more penalties than he had catches.
In 2019, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, come on, man. I was sick. I hated that pick. Credit to Schultz, but then also because I don't want to always give a coach credit for a player, but I want to credit both. Looked like Wells had that whole group, and that was an injured group. You know what I mean? That wasn't he didn't come out there with the true tight end one. He was out there with the scraps.
Right.
He just seemed like the type that just don't BS. You know what I mean? Like I tell you, bro, look, you gonna be out the league. You keep playing like that. You know? And but you got it too. If you follow me, I'm gonna get you there. One of them type coaches. So I just want to follow up on that thought, man. I definitely co-sign you on that. What else you got?
All right, and then are we talking about our likes, and then we're gonna go to the guys we're like suspect on?
We can do whatever. I'm just
okay. Let me go on another. Okay, let me go on another person I liked. I was suspect on him in the beginning.
Okay.
Joe Philbin. I was real. He was a guy, offensive line coach. I was suspect on him with the steal thing. I was frustrated with it because he rolled Terrence. You and your guy, you was talking about Terrence Steele. You the one who talked about Terrence Steele before anybody ever said anything. So I'm gonna give you hella credit. Just like my guy, the Ninja mentioned Tyler Biadasz when I heard nobody talking about him. But you was talking about Terrence Steele like he could be on the team. Jay, it could happen. He ended up being the starter. I didn't know how that happened, especially when you had a Brandon Knight who was adequate last year when he filled in at tackle, and then you went with a Terrence Steele, and Terrence Steele was just not good this past. He made improvements, but he just wasn't a good player. But I will also say that when I was seeing those type of things, I was also seeing like, why aren't you playing a Connor McGovern? But then when the injuries came, he was flipping the script. We never seen Zach Martin move out of guard. and go to tackle. We never saw that, especially after we heard Mike McCarthy say this ain't no fantasy football. We ain't moving people around like that. Then you saw your boy right after that go into tackle, and he was flipping, flopping, and mixing and matching to make things happen. We finally got to see Connor McGovern. We saw, like I said, we saw Zach Martin kick out the tackle. We saw different mixed matching to make this offensive line still be adequate. So I'm gonna give him props on that. I still need to see more, but he was bad on me, but he got better. So I'll say Philbin got better on me because the way he was flipping them guys, and I didn't think that could happen.
Man, say, listen, bro. If it was a dude that I would give Coach of the Year to, it would be him, bro. This dude had a hand so damn bad. He pulled big 1, big 2, 3-2. His domino hand was garbage. He lost at the beginning of the freaking season. Tyron Smith, Ed Liel, and you had to play a swing that was an undrafted free agent, and
two of them, because you had Knight and Steele, who were both undrafted. Your starting tackles,
and he made it work.
Yeah, dude, he made it work.
And then
gotta give him props.
People forget when Dak was throwing up this was with backup tackles.
Right.
When Dak was doing this, it was no Liel and no T. Smith. Man. Everybody should just take a moment, and I mean this, I'm not playing. And give that man an applause. Especially to your point, man, because I've been researching him, bro. The more I've been researching, that's why I say, man, I want to talk about the coaches before we even get into the players. Man, I've been researching him, man, and I hope Dan Quinn is like him, because as a head coach, he was an 8-8 head coach. But when he was he was man, you know. But when you assign a job to him, boy, that boy will kill. Yeah. Like when you look at the fact that, you know, he's the assistant head coach, offensive line coach, and we talking about that. You know, we talked about the Miami Dolphins, but he was also the offensive coordinator of Green Bay Packers from 2007 to 2011, helping them win that Super Bowl. And see, I remember what they did in that Super Bowl. This is what people forgot when he was the offensive coordinator. They came out there with 10 personnel. They came out in that Super Bowl with 4 receivers and won it. See, and that make me feel good about him, because you know what they tell me? He common sense. He like, you know what? We just lost Jamarcus Finley. Let's go with Driver. Let's go with White Lightning. You know what I mean? Let's go with the guys who make plays. Just like he did with Zach Martin. Nobody ever thought in a million years that Zach Martin would play tackle. This man
even came out there and said, college.
This man said, Steele, you're stinking. You're stinking it up. You're stinking it up. We got to make a change. He made the change. Zach played and balled. It motivated Steele, right? Because you could lose your job. And then when Steele played the second half of the year, it was 10 times better than his first. You know? And that's good coaching. I will bench your ass. You know, excuse me, I don't mean curse. I will bench you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, 80% of the line was injured. People forget that. And we still ranked 13th in offense, bro.
With Andy Dalton.
So if you don't give this man his
perfect,
boy. So now I'm bullish on him. I'm very thankful for him. I feel very good about the future with him. We can talk about somebody else now, though. Let me put him on.
So we feeling good. No, so we feeling good, pretty good about those. We feeling good about both of those guys, what they did. So let me see who else you got in there. Who else you got up there? Did you put it back up?
Yeah, let me. So
So let's go to
Man, y'all gotta do some super chats, man. Come on now. Come on, y'all
let's
can't do people
let's go
like
let's
that.
do this. Let's go to these last two though.
Okay.
Skip Pete and Doug Nuschmeyer.
Let's go,
I
bro. You
let's
go first
because
with me.
I yeah, you can go for. I ain't feeling them guys all like that.
Ooh, pressure.
Nuschmeyer, because you know why?
What?
Well, with Dak, yes, but you came in with Andy Dalton. What did Andy Dalton do? He looked like he didn't look like an Andy Dalton that used to play in Cincinnati. He looked like straight trash. Is that the offensive line?
No.
What was that?
That's
and then when you had one chance with Ben DiNucci, he looked like
boo boo.
What? Now
Boo-boo.
we felt good about a Garrett Gilbert. That was pretty good, but I'm gonna give Nuschmeyer a C right now.
Ooh, but see, I see what you're doing, and I can't fight you on it. Okay, I look at it just slightly different. I would give him a B minus B plus. You know, I felt like Andy Dalton was a broken soul. You just got ran out of time. You know what I mean? So you
just think he was just broken over at Cincinnati?
Broken soul, bro. And
just
you
broken. He just dead.
Dead. You left for dead. You almost know you out the league. This man done got another, you know what I'm saying, another chance at life because of how he finished a little bit strong coming off of COVID, you know. And he did win some games at the end. And put it like this, I know Eastside Harold in the building, right? Eastside
Oh,
is in the
Lord.
building.
You mean Harold?
Yeah, and so I want to remind him that our backups won more games than Deshaun Watson, right?
Oh, Lord.
Our backup quarterback.
You give him that attention. You love giving him that attention.
I know, bro.
I don't know why.
Bro. I had to, man. I did, bro. I had to bang him real quick. So, and then I did like how Gilbert came in versus Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? I really did like that. I felt like DiNucci really never should have played. To be honest, bro,
he should have never played, and I was hyped, and I don't think he's a trash quarterback, but he should have never played that game. You should have had. Do we have Gilbert then?
Yes, we had Gilbert, bro.
Or do we have Cooper Rush?
We had Gilbert.
Okay. Because I don't know why Cooper Rush keep getting back on the team.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just to answer that question right quick, because Pee Wee with the dress, he gives a $1.99 holler. He says, why didn't they keep Gilbert as a starter? I just feel like they felt like they were still in it, which they were mathematically until almost the very end.
Right.
And they felt like they wanted to go with the established starter in the league, and now he's with Dallas, and they felt like they had the best chance to win with Andy Dalton over at Garrett Gilbert. So that's why I feel like they stayed with him all year, and they felt like he had more of a proven track record.
Yeah. And hopefully, man, I think it was also economics. You put in Andy Dalton all these incentives in his contract, right? He the guy with all the playoff experience, and you paid him. So the Cowboys tend to
follow the money.
That. Yeah,
they follow the money.
They follow the money, man. If they paid you, Anthony Brown starting right corner.
Yeah.
Because they paid him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just kind of the Cowboys' way, which makes me miss Bill Parcells. One of the classic Bill Parcells press conferences where they start talking this money talk. Is this person going to start because he got paid? Bill Parcells was so classic when he said this, man. I loved it. It was my favorite saying ever. He said, man, why do you think we have all these practices? Y'all think we just go through the motions? I got to see these guys compete. After I see them compete, then I'm going to be able to give you the real order and rank. I actually have competition on my teams. That's why you saw Romo rise, because it was real competition. If it wasn't competition, Romo would have been out the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things. But hey, because I want to show you this too when it came down to kind of having Doug back a little bit. I think partially Kellen Moore hurt Doug too with this. So in 2020, Dallas was ranked number 2 in pass attempts per game, even without Dak for most of the season. Man, Kellen Moore was throwing that thing.
Yeah, Kellen Moore, but you know he came from that throwing offense though.
Yeah.
They were spreading it out, throwing it everywhere.
Man, but you throwing it like that with backups?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
But
So-
he also had to look at the offensive line was not good.
True.
You probably had your run game was Zeke was fumbling. The run game was almost non-existent. What else you gonna do?
True.
You got to throw it.
Yeah, because the best weapons on the perimeter. That that's where your
You had a CD Lamb, you had a Michael Gallup, and you had a Amari Cooper. Why not?
man, that makes sense, bro. I can't fight that. See, when you think of it from, hey man, somebody showed us a lot of love, man. I gotta show this comment, man. Somebody said, big game and boss best duo. Hey, I appreciate that. And we
Ooh, I like
freestyling
that.
too. This is not a planned show.
We
bro.
always
This-
freestyle, dog.
No,
What you
this
talking
is
about?
everything we talking about, stats and everything, coaches. This is off
We
the
be-
top, bro. Like this
Off
is
the top, but we just jumping off top turnbuckle, dog, with the elbow
Turnbuckle.
to your face.
yeah.
For
It's
real.
just, we eat and sleep this. That's what it really is. We know this.
Yeah, for real.
Men moving the chains was getting ready to talk about all the coaches. I'm like, let's just talk about Kellen Moore because it's gonna take too long to talk about them coaches. But then when you came in, I'm like, shit, let's talk about the coaches.
Right. Yeah, that's
Aight.
a conversation.
It is, and it's gearing up for training camp. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when people really following us, they gonna have a good feel of what's going on. In my opinion, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
me and you,
Yeah.
you gonna be out there. You know what I mean? We gonna already have a good feel, but like
Mhm.
some people, you know, they come to our channels like, help me get caught up. That's what we doing. All right, so we got another offensive guy.
Skip Pete.
Yep, Skip Pete.
I like Gary Brown better. I like Gary Brown better.
Please, no! 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 No!
Yeah, Skip Pete. I'm cool. I want.
Am I going
I'm
too
cool,
hard,
Skip.
bro?
Yeah,
Am I
I'm cool, Skip Pete.
I think we need to purge old Skip.
Yeah.
Purge this dude, bro.
I feel like they went backwards on that one.
They went backwards on that one.
I wish Gary Brown was. I wish Gary Brown, man, didn't have the cancer, man,
Me
because
too,
that's
bro.
why he wasn't the coach. He ended up having cancer,
Yeah.
because they were one.
Yeah.
They were bonded, and he brought the best out of Zeke.
Yes.
And Skip was back in the day. It was almost like y'all. I don't like when they
Talk
take
it,
a player,
bro.
take
See?
a coach that was been there way back in the day, and you try to bring them back to rekindle. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over, man.
It's over.
And
It's somebody
see,
else, bro.
And that's why I'm being consistent on this, man. When I'm really being consistent when I say I judge the coaches based on the group. It was a
Yeah.
bad fumble year.
Bad. It was a
for
bad
both
fumbling
running
year.
backs, bro.
Both you didn't see it. Like you had the year. I mean, Pollard had the one game, but the way Zeke was fumbling and being careless with the ball, he just looked like a
That
totally
never
different
happened
player.
with Brown.
I didn't see that motivate. And like you said, Brown had him motivated. I didn't see any of the motivation with Skip Pete, and I just feel like that went backwards. I was like, okay, because he used to coach with Dallas, but nah, dog, that they need to move on from that one. They get a young guy or something, but I feel like that time is done.
I think it's totally done, man. And see, I'm just being all the way honest, man. I was listening to his interviews and stuff because I've really been dissecting these coaches, man. I've been really
Yeah, I listened
breaking
to
down.
yeah.
Bro, did you hear when
Those
he
ain't-
was in an interview and he say, "Man, I'm gonna be watching Zeke to see what I can learn from Zeke." Did you see
What?
that, bro?
No, I didn't. I probably did,
Go
but I
listen to his
didn't. Probably,
interview.
I don't even want to listen to that.
Yeah, you go come out.
I don't even want to listen to
Nah,
that.
you go come out wanting to vomit, bro. You like,
I don't want to listen to that. But I didn't hear no excitement from him. Even when I did watch all the early interviews when they brought the whole new staff on. That's why I tried to, in my head, be pumped up about Mike Nolan. But when I was listening to interviews, and you don't have to be some rah-rah guy in the interviews. You don't
No,
have
you
to do
don't.
that. But it's just how your body language and just how you just be talking. I'm just like, I don't like that. And when Skip Pete was up there, it was just kind of like, yeah, let's just see how this goes. That's what it felt like to me.
Exactly.
Let's see how this goes.
It felt just like
I just came from the Rams. I was their coach, their running backs, and now I'm over here and I got a job. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh, man. And so that's why I'm so happy that our guys, they hit the off season on their own so hard.
Thank you. So we don't got to rely on that.
Yeah, we ain't got to rely on you, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's see, and I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Like, if you stay consistent to that thought process, I think it'll help you gauge these coaches better. Because a lot of people, under Brown, you never saw Zeke fumbling like that.
No, not crazy like that, and having multiple fumbles in games, like it was crazy. Like he fumbles, and then we're like, "Come on, man, hold on to the ball." And then you come right back and fumble. It's like, okay, what you doing over there, Skip? Because this is not normal over here.
Yeah, it's not.
What are you saying to this man?
What are you saying to this man? Especially
are you chastising him?
You
feel me?
What are you saying, man? Like, me and Moving the Chains was talking about this earlier, man, at Atlanta game. With all this fumbling, man. Them balls was fumbling back to back to back to back in the first quarter, man. And it was the best players, and it was Zeke and Pollard. It was both of them, and that got him 1-2. You know what I mean? And it's like, who? Because, see, this is one thing I did like about Tebow. Because, it's a lot of people tried to get him mad because he playing tight end and he old as dirt in terms of football years, right? It's a young man's game. But, see, boys got to remember, man, Tebow would get in your face. He would get in your grill. And sometimes you get a guy like that because he go bring edge to my team, starting or not. You know what I mean? I fell in love with Tebow at Florida. This is when I loved Tebow too. Everybody know he wasn't no real quality quarterback, but you loved him as a competitor if you was just honest. Man, I saw my boy Tebow. The defense said, we stopped him, so you score. So Tebow scored, right? He went right back to the defensive captain at Florida and said, we just scored, you stop him. I say that's edge, boy. That's edge. And be honest, James. If you playing defense and the offensive dude coming to you like that, ain't that gonna put a rod in your back?
Heck yeah. I mean, that's going to have me amped up to be like, yo, we can't let them down.
We can't let them down, bro. He went right in his face. The defensive captain said, we just go, now you stop them. I would have been
we can't let them down.
Man, I'm finna break my arm for that. Let's go. You know what I mean? So, so my question is, who is that guy that's going to hold our best guys accountable? You can't have your best guys out there, Zeke, Dak, Pollard, fumbling all in the first quarter like that. Yeah, we pulled it out. Yeah, we came back. Miracle on ice. Beautiful, cool, cute story. Biggest comeback, one of the biggest comeback in Dallas history. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Yeah, that was luck.
But that is not no damn championship football, man. I'm sorry. And you still should have a bad taste in your mouth from having that type of performance early where you had to pull a miracle on ice to pull it out. So let's get these super chats going, man, because y'all see we freestyling. And with this freestyling, we answering questions. Let's really get it in here, man. Come on now. But yeah, but I mean what I say on that, man. Who are the people that's gonna hold these guys accountable, especially the best guys? Because I was asking on the last show with Moving the Chains, can Kellen Moore do that? I don't think so. I think it'll have to be like a yin and yang thing, right? To where Mike McCarthy got to be the bad cop and Kellen Moore got to be the good cop. But somebody got to be the bad cop to the stars, man. I'm serious. So
yeah, I mean, there's got to be that accountability, and there's got to be, if people ain't doing what they're supposed to do, there's got to be some kind of something happening to it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, man. Like I said, I'm That's why I said I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid, dog. I'm just over here sipping and just watching and seeing, because too many times I've seen it happening up in here. You know, the same things. We get excited about these same things, then the same things are happening. But I will say this: I know there was mistakes last year, but even in the goofiness that happened last year, it felt it was a little bit different than Garrett. It felt like, man, if we could get it together, maybe something. It felt different from Garrett, though. If you understand what I'm saying, even though it was a bad year, I don't know how to explain it, boss. If you understand what I mean, it just
I
felt
get
like
exactly what you're saying, and I think I can walk through it. I think I know exactly what you're saying, and I feel you 100%. It was a lot of good to take out of the bad. So, like, for instance, you saw them fighting at the end, even with backwards. You saw the Mike McCarthy angry. You ain't used to see that with Garrett, fighting for the cause. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like with the watermelon, coming in there bashing them watermelons, like, man, the world against us. You know what I mean? And for Mike McCarthy to be out there when most teams would have really go ahead and would have submitted to tank mode, like Philly did. Philly submitted to tank mode. They was like,
yeah, they did. It was like bumping.
Yeah, we good, man. We not gonna really cut the fight. We already know we can't make no run with this team, and they shut it down. But Mike McCarthy didn't. And as I was researching Mike McCarthy, I start seeing why, man. I start seeing why. Mike McCarthy got a lot of pride. I'm getting into my show tomorrow. I ain't gonna even talk about offense because I'm giving it all today.
Yeah, you're giving it all away.
But this is what I've been researching, though, bro. So as I've been researching it, it's been helping me. Like,
what coach needs to step up to you on this whole staff?
No, I want to finish McCarthy, and then I'm gonna come to the staff because that's a good question.
Okay.
Bro. I see what Mike McCarthy and why he was fighting so hard. He got one of the best winning percentages, bro. He trying to keep that number up. You feel me? I didn't even know that. Like, he's fourth highest winning percentage, bro, out of all active coaches. So he wasn't gonna quit for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he went from he went from an organization, the Packers to the Cowboys. You get what I'm saying? You came into something good. You need to hold up to that end of the bargain. And like I said, the pressure is on him this year, in my opinion. Major pressure on him because he can't be coming in and having no weak season. Because to me, if you don't make the playoffs this year, you don't need to be the coach.
I tell you what, when I look at his resume, I feel like, honestly, a lot of us are scorned by Garrett. I think we just need to wait on Mike McCarthy because his resume says that it's going to turn.
But it turned quickly. Yeah, but it turned quickly when it came.
It's gonna turn, bro. I really do.
This is a year it needs to turn because everything, especially if it's a healthy year for the team, there's no excuses.
It's gonna turn though. I'm almost certain because
there's no excuses.
Because he said his team have qualified for the postseason 9 times.
I know, and it turned around quick when he came over, and everybody's talking about Al Harris.
1-6 NFC. Yeah, I'm with you on Harris. I'm already feeling the crowd, bro.
Yeah, the crowd's already. I knew that's why I threw it out there because I knew that's the first person they were gonna say.
Hey, I feel. See, I didn't know that people was gonna say that, but I feel that.
I knew they were because a lot of people don't like Al Harris.
Ooh.
And I was on Al Harris. I'm like, come on, dog. I was on you. I was like Lindquist, I think, but after the veterans were saying he was trash, I was like, damn, okay. But yeah, Al Harris has another bullseye on his back because he was with Andy Reid and they were great over there, and they had a regression in the Chiefs. That's why he got fired, and he came over to Dallas, and that secondary was not great. And Diggs dropped some interceptions, Woods dropped some interceptions. You had guys saying they playing 70%. That falls on coaching too. Like, you letting your players say that, and that's in the back end. Your players are saying that, and you're coaching them. So yeah, Al Harris has a big old bullseye. You just got Kelvin Joseph. You just got Nashawn Wright. You got Diggs back. You need to show some improvement on this because this secondary, just like you said in the very beginning, boss, that's the weak link right now. If you would look at the weakest link as far as the team on the defense, it would have to be the back end.
Oh man, This boy, Eastside Harris said, I forgot about the racist watermelon. Listen.
Man, why do you
I
talk
got
to
man,
him?
because I got to duck
Why?
on him for this. I got to duck on him
Why?
for this one,
Because no, dog,
okay,
he
I'll
don't know football, bro.
I was
Like,
finna
don't
dunk on
talk
him
to
so
him.
hard. I was finna
Don't.
dunk on your
He wants
head,
dunked
boy.
on. He wants attention. Don't do it.
Thank you. All right,
Y'all give him this attention by
finna-
talking to him
boy,
and the whole
I was
daggone
finna
feed. I don't know
rock
why
your
y'all do it.
head. All right, back.
And I got hella love for you. I got hella love for you, Harold. But I'm just not entertaining that because I have heard too many of your sports takes, and they ain't real. They're just triggers. Your sports takes aren't even real takes. They're just triggers. And I'm not talking to somebody who just likes to trigger people.
You right. See, thank you for talking me off of that. Back to football.
I'm not hating, Harold. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, and see, he said, "Hey, Mike Fisher." Durr said, "Hey, Mike Fisher talking about a Howard trade to the Cowboys. It makes sense. That's one of the trades that makes sense. Like, and that's something that Howard. But hold on, real quick. Howard? No, that don't make sense. I'm tripping.
Who Howard?
He
OJ
must be
Howard?
talking about Howard from Miami. No, they actually.
Man, Dallas ain't making no trades.
Because that's a $16 million guy.
Dog, Dallas ain't making no, man. People who really follow Dallas wouldn't even say something like that, because if you really follow Dallas and you follow Stephen Jones, he's not doing those type of things.
So you think Mike Fisher over there just?
Mike Fisher just talking.
Yeah, because Howard this late?
Come on, dog. With that money that he gonna get owed or what? Come on, man. And what they gonna pay him? Are they gonna have to give up a pick? If they got to give up any kind of pick, Dallas ain't doing it.
Ooh.
What?
It depends on the pick, man. Because at some point,
if it's a late pick, yeah, but anything early, anything above a fourth.
See,
that's treasure. That's
that Howard stuff. So I got some good intel on that. What's happening over there with Howard? That Howard is protesting because of Byron Jones. That's what's going on.
Right.
Byron Jones is getting more money than him and got about 15 more in signing bonus, right? So he basically over there like, listen, man, I done got me over 15 interceptions in the last 2 years.
Why? Okay, but now you just said that, boss. Now all that controversy, he gonna come over to Dallas with one. Well, Byron got more money than me, so now I want. So Dallas would do that. Come on, boss.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Because see, I had.
When
to
has
think
Dallas
about it,
done
though.
that?
I just had to think about it, bro. It doesn't sound like something that Steven would do.
Gerald Beasley says trade Brown and Lewis for Howard. Miami wouldn't even take that.
I would give up a second though, easy.
Them draft picks ain't crazy like that to me. But aren't you going to? Are you feeling like? I give up a draft pick in Brown. I give up a draft pick in Brown.
Easy.
Now you can take some of that all day. Take Brown with you.
Man,
take him all the way with you.
Say this is. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
I ain't giving up Jordan Lewis though. I like Jordan. I give you a Brown and a draft pick.
I love Jordan Lewis, but I would give him up for this. I really would. I love Jordan.
You
Lewis
would?
Too. Yes.
Probably because he has more value than probably Brown.
Check this out. This is where y'all should super
That's the only
chat.
reason why.
Y'all should super chat right now for what we getting ready to do, because this is a freestyle and we ready to talk about Howard. That quick. Boom. So if we look at Xavier Howard, right? His guaranteed at signing was $27 million. Okay. Then take a look at the guarantee on Byron Jones. $40 million.
Yeah, but when did Howard get his deal?
The year before.
Okay, it's gonna go up the next year.
That
so
much?
why is he crying?
No, not that much, bro. This is why he feel insulted.
Dog, it always, man, you crazy, dog.
He feel insulted.
They overspend.
And should feel insulted.
Why should he feel insulted? And listen, I get it. Come on, this is the NFL. They all do it to.
Not like
this. Is the NFL, bro.
Oh,
they do it to every player.
I can see if
Why
it's
is he
a
talking about he
million
feeling
off.
salted and they do it
This
to every
is more
single
than a
player?
million off,
Yes,
bruh.
they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do
look
do
at
that
the
to players.
guarantee as signing.
They don't care about these
27
players. They oversign these players all the time.
Look
They
at this.
do, and
the
you know it.
guaranteed is 27 as signing. Byron got 40 and missed most of the season and had a bad season. You got this is Howard right here, bro. This is what's happening. On the first day of Dolphins mandatory minicamp, it is more clear than ever that the club has an Xavier Howard problem. Miami coach Brian Flores said Tuesday morning that he has not seen Howard. I'm not sure he's going to be here today, Flores said. I expect him to be here, but I've not seen him yet. It's pretty clear this is a contract situation. You know what I'm saying? This is about Byron Jones, bro. This is clear.
And if it's a contract situation, Dallas is going to jump. I know that, but Dallas ain't jumping into mess.
But listen,
you're going from a messy. This is a messy situation.
Let me just ask
you. Show me
question.
something different, Dallas.
It's a
because
crowd.
I don't believe it.
Let me ask you a question. It's a crowd that wanted Byron Jones paid at the market setting amount that he got, which was $16.5 million. It's a lot of our fans that wanted that now, right? Now, who wouldn't be happy with
How old is Howard?
For less?
How old is Howard?
20. It's right here. Hold on real quick.
Okay, but how much is Howard going to get? How much would Howard get over here?
Well, if we renegotiated his contract, it would have to be a new market-setting contract. If we took his contract,
if we doing, yeah, but he ain't right. And how old is he? They're not doing that.
This is the interception
How old
leader
is he?
of corners, G. This
is he in his 30s?
No, he's 27.
How old is he?
27, and he led the NFL with 10 interceptions.
How old
27.
is he? Okay,
27.
27. That helps him because anything older, they wouldn't have did it. But here's my thing with that, boss.
Oh, they got a super chat that, bro. Hold on real quick. They got a super chat that, bro.
What?
Like, they lit it, man.
Yeah.
My boy Durr raised the question, and we
what?
was ready on the spot to talk about that. You got to reward us for that. No, I'm playing. Let's keep talking. Anyway,
I'm just saying, you just got Kelvin Joseph. They drafted Nashawn Wright. They like Diggs. They like who they have. I just don't see them jumping out and doing that, dog. They don't do that. They don't give up draft picks.
I don't see it happening either.
Yeah.
But
that's a dead story to me.
But I would be dead for it. I would be
we
for
all
it.
There's a lot of things we would be for with Dallas. But once again, boss, we speaking in reality terms.
You're right.
That's why when we talk about certain scenarios, just like when you were talking about Jabril Cox at safety, that's not a bad thing. But is it really gonna happen?
No.
Until I see an inkling of something like that, why am I talking about it if I ain't seen no kind of inkling of it?
Well, I think we should talk, because then that's what we do as podcasters. We throw out
True.
ideas. But to talk and expect is something else. You know what I mean? Like, don't expect it because we know how they roll. But you speaking based on history, and it's no lie what you saying. We should have been very aggressive on Minkah Fitzpatrick. The fact that he went to Pittsburgh for a second rounder and we wasn't on that with our safety needs points to what you saying being true, Big, is that we'll get into that we like our guys versus.
I mean, sometimes you got to outbid. I mean, think about it. But here's another thing, though. You know what also frustrates me, though, boss?
Yeah.
We see how you talked about Minkah Fitzpatrick. You damn right we should have went out to and got a Minkah Fitzpatrick.
For a second?
But you know what else? I always be thinking too, boss?
What's that?
When Minkah Fitzpatrick came over there and did what he did in Pittsburgh would he do that in Dallas like he did that in Pittsburgh, knowing the dysfunction that we have?
I think so.
I don't know.
See, because
dog, we get players
cause
and
it
then
it would have been Fitzpatrick versus Xavier Woods.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like we just talked. They were just talking about Brandon Carr, and then was talking about they was goofy back there on the back end, and they weren't doing the right thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Mika Fitzpatrick, but Pittsburgh is notorious for having good defense, so they come right in and make it happen on defense. That's what they do. Dallas ain't been notorious on making plays on defense, so we could have got a Mika Fitzpatrick, and then he comes in, we're like, why ain't Mika playing good? Because Dallas is dysfunctional in certain things, and then when he goes somewhere else, he turns up. I mean, we keep seeing it. So as much as I would have loved to have Mika and how much of a dog he is, that doesn't mean he would have been a dog in Dallas, because our dysfunction was we've been having communication issues for how long? How long in this team? How long we've been having communication issues?
Like, see, when you say dysfunction, most people think, oh, Big Game James, he's Debbie Downer. You just mad. We ain't won a Super Bowl so long and you been Debbie Downer. No, think about the history. He right. We brought in Ha-Ha. Ha-Ha was easily a better player than all the safeties. All the film said it. They ran him out of here. Old man Brandon Carr was already better than Xavier Woods. We ran him out. Georgia Loca was better than Xavier Woods. Ran him out.
Better than Jeff Heath.
Josh Jones, we let him get away.
And he went and played somewhere else and was pretty productive.
Yes, he
was on
the
the
Jags right now. 6'2",
he had a pretty
4'4", 220. He played in the box
year.
And single high. So
that's what I'm saying. So
no, that's why I'm not fighting you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where you
because
we'll run it off. We got a long.
We always
history.
be talking about we could get players to do this and do that. When they come to Dallas, they don't do jack. And then when they leave, they go somewhere or they go somewhere and they turn up. So until we get this staff to match with the players, because it never coordinates, and that's the frustrating part with me. I don't never try to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm tired of you can't get both of these everything to coordinate at one time. Like I said, if the offense is doing good, the defense ain't doing good. We ain't never really had the defense do good, but when the defense was halfway decent, offense was started to crumble a little bit. It's like it's always something not matching, boss. And so many times when we hear a player get released or this and that, Dallas fans will always jump on them and say, oh, come here, it'll make us better. Not so fast. Them guys don't always come over here and will make us great.
So let me ask you a question.
Answer this.
All right.
Rita, move the chains. Answer a great question. I want you to answer this because I could answer this right now. She says, I've heard people say, and I've already talked about this before, I've heard people say that Dallas isn't an attractive place for defensive free agents. Do you think that the Quinn Kool-Aid changes that?
For some, it does. For some, it doesn't. And I do know a lot of personal trainers, so do Big Game James. So he's very, very close to Brandon Tucker, right? It's trainers in Dallas that I'm close to as well. And I go out in the summertime, and that's how I talk to Chris Harris, right? Chris Harris went right up to me and said, Dallas didn't want me. I said, what? I thought he was playing. He said, nah, I'm dead serious. I said, stop, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, Dallas didn't want you. Okay, you're right. He said, no, Dallas didn't want me. He said I wasn't tall enough. You know? So, and the trainers told me, and all the athletes that I talked to, the trainers say, man, pretty much most players want to play for Dallas. You know? But there are certain players that really hate Dallas. You know what I mean? And it really depends on, I guess, where you from, you know? Like if you grew up in a certain area like Philly, or if you from, you know, Pittsburgh area and all that kind of stuff, you'll have affinity for Pittsburgh over Dallas. But for people that just want to play for a historic franchise, Dallas is very attractive and will always be attractive. We got some of the best facilities. We got an owner that if you play well for him and you break your arms for him, you can mess around and have one of the best jobs after football. Dallas is a very attractive place, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say it's a super attractive place because free agents know they come to Dallas, they ain't getting paid big money. So I don't know where that's attractive. If it was so attractive, those guys would have considered Dallas, the J.J. Watts and them. They already know they ain't paying over there, so they don't even look at us. And then what's so attractive when they're mediocre? Dallas ain't made the playoffs the last 2 years, missed the playoffs the last 3 to 4.
So Brent Irvin.
So they don't. Dallas don't. What? Brent Irvin's a regular player now. We talking about. You said attractive to free agent.
We recruited some players.
I ain't saying I like Brent Irvin.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
we
saying.
got Quinn. Quinn came over with an option.
That was in a trade, wasn't it?
No,
wasn't that in a trade?
But he had options. Like he had an option to where he could have went. He said his 2 suitors at that time
was Saints or Dallas.
Saints or Dallas, and he chose Dallas. Then you had Cobb, who chose Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Then you had Griffin chose Dallas. You know, it didn't work out, but it's some players that chose Dallas. You know what I mean? And that's why I say for some it's attractive, not for everybody. You know what I mean? And I also think, because I talked to Chris Harris about it. Like I said, Chris, where you are in your career, have you ever considered maybe shaving off $1 million to play for Dallas? Because if you turn up in Dallas, that make your life after football just crazy in terms of jobs. He said, man, I ain't never think of it like that. But
I mean, yeah, it does, but I just feel like, you know, back in the day, that was the thing with the Cowboys. That was back in the day, it was attractive, you know what I'm saying, because the hoopla. But I don't care. I feel like when you're a free agent and you're looking at teams, yeah, you can look at the Cowboys of with the facilities and all that, but cats ain't just looking at the facilities, boss. They looking about what money are you paying me? Are you paying me this bread? It ain't. Some of them who just wants to go to facility. I want to get paid. Your game,
no, not just for facility.
They ain't paying in Dallas. What is Brent Irvin making?
Yeah. You go.
Show me his contract. Pull up his contract.
Take a haircut. You go take a haircut if you go to Dallas.
You get what I'm saying? And this was an opportunity for Brent Irvin to turn up. But you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They ain't paying. Free agents ain't looking at this like, oh, let's come over here and do this. He didn't make nothing over here.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The Stephen Jones would.
So I don't know if free agents are trying to bang down the door saying Dallas is attractive, and we ain't been winning.
And then you got some of these people that's fans of Dallas, man. You know, like some of these people want to play for Dallas because my daddy was a Cowboy fan. You know, like Earl Thomas, I think he was dead serious about that. My dad, but then, like my daddy can be a Cowboy fan, but when the Ravens offer me $20 million more than the Dallas would ever do, then I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You
know what? I feel you. Chris Davis makes a point, and I want to bounce off this, and I want to bounce off this point. He says the Cowboys are not overpaying free agents is a positive thing. They learned from their mistakes, grew from them. They want to build through the draft, was the correct way, in my opinion. I don't disagree with that in aspect. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. You should build through the draft in your young players, and you want to keep your own and develop them. Problem is, they're falling short in that, in my opinion, especially on the defensive side. Okay. And that's why I say you may have to get one, because you don't have to get 4 or 5 free agents, but you can get one. And then you can get the other guys to sprinkle. You can get one. And they won't even go that route. They won't even look at that. So what they're doing is, okay, we're just going to get the low-cast guys, and then we're going to build through the draft and play with our own. But your own that you got ain't been producing. Yeah. So you need to figure that out. Because the own that you drafted, and I said, let's go back to this defense, right? And I said, since 2014, when they started with DeMarcus Lawrence, the drafts have been okay defensively, but where have they done? Where? 2014, we had DeMarcus Lawrence, right? He's done his thing, but he's just now come on, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's just now turning up since 2017. Randy Gregory, we're excited, but he's just now first time going to have a full off season. The other guys up the middle, they gone. Jalen Smith has regressed. LVE, they're talking about he may not even be with the team no more. He didn't even take his 5th-year option. The back end is gone. So where, you feel me? So when you're talking about you ain't going out there and signing free agents, that's cool. But who is these guys that you building through the draft and turning up with? Because I ain't seeing them.
Yeah, I feel like Stephen Jones is like the Oracle from the Matrix, where at the end of the movie, she said, "You played a dangerous game." That's Stephen Jones in the offseason. Like when you, because I agree with Chris. Like, and it take a lot of balls for Stephen to do that, and he does it every year. He'll look at guys that we all know improved this team, and he'll just let them go because he committed to building through the draft. And I was noticing in the press conference, Stephen believes it. Like a lot of us think he just a tight ass, but when I really watched him, when it came to Dak, he was like, I was dead ass committed to not paying you because I felt like I wouldn't go cash strap our future unless we had some wiggle room in your contracts. That's why Jerry had to go in there and make it flexible with those 2 extra years on that contract to give them that cap room, because Steven wasn't go budge. And I wrote this in the Boss Cowboy Guide 2 years in a row. Never forget the story of who you're dealing with when you're dealing with Stephen Jones. It's a core of who he is. He is the exact same guy when we didn't have a cap that didn't want Deion Sanders at a certain price and got so mad that he jacked up his daddy against the wall. Now, Big Game James I remember he had to be the only person in the whole world that didn't want to acquire Deion. Because Deion at that time was a kickoff return guy, punt return guy, interception leader, all world-class speed. You was taking him off the same team that just beat you, going to the Super Bowl, so you weakening your enemy by taking him. And Steven was like, no, over money. Jerry was like, man, his exact words was, son, it's done. And that's when Steven jacked him up against the wall. That show you how tunnel vision he can get when it comes to budgets. When it comes to budgets, he don't move, man. And that's who he is for years. So it's we just got to live with it. That's who make decisions, man. That's just what it is.
I'm on you, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm on you. I'm on Chris. I'm on him now.
What you mean?
Says team building. He just says team building doesn't happen overnight. So okay, I get that, but we still building.
Good point. Say that again, Big. Say that one more
We still
time.
building, man?
No, we not.
We still building?
We a couple.
How long we
moves
been
away.
building, man?
Thank
I don't
you,
want to
bro.
hear that.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I
we
can see you
still
being
building,
like that.
team
We
building.
building?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we
we've been doing that.
Team talent wise.
We should have been one.
Yeah,
we should have been
this
in
is
this
when you
mix.
put your chips in.
We seeing these right. You see these other teams that are like saying, "No, we're not waiting." That's what did Tampa Bay wait? No, they seen Tom Brady. They seen this and this, and they said,
Seattle wait?
"We're gonna win now." The Seattle wait?
No.
Did these other
Kansas
teams
City?
wait? No, they did. Did the Rams wait?
No, they making moves.
Did Philly wait?
No.
Did all these teams wait? Or did they sit there and say, no, we're going to keep trying to build our team through the draft, and we're just going to keep building, and we're just going to keep building and stay young and keep building. And while we're staying cheaper and staying building and staying young, we ain't winning jack poop.
And you know what's sad? COVID has strengthened the resolve of Steven. You see what I'm saying? Because all these teams had to release good players because they wasn't cap prepared. But this pandemic obviously made Steven like, see, if I wouldn't have been so cheap, I would have had to unload some of the, you know what I mean? So now for the next 20 years, he gonna be, what if it's a pandemic? What if it's a pandemic? What if it's a what if it's a 1 in 100 year virus? And he gonna be serious. Like COVID, because to his credit though, he didn't have to break up his best. All the guys that he paid, he didn't have to break them up for cap. He didn't even restructure nothing. What did he restructure this offseason? Nothing. He didn't restructure nobody. Man, that dude, you know.
I mean, he's a genius with that cap, but while we
He
being
is.
capologists and being great with the cap, we ain't winning nothing. So I'm just saying somebody figure that out for me, Stephen Jones. You manipulating that cap so daggone good, and that's so great, and I love it. And I'm not sitting there saying go spend money on 20 free agents every single year. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying you can spend one on a player, but if you're gonna build through this draft, like you say, and pay your own and go cheap on free agents, then let's show some wins with that. I'm not seeing the wins. You get what I'm saying? And we've been talking about building. We've been talking about building this defense. They built that offense, didn't they?
Yeah, because sometimes
They built the offense.
Because sometimes you're a player away. Really?
You could be a player. We've seen it. You could be a
Like,
player away.
What
And
was
you,
that player for the Raiders that you was high on this offseason that we both was mad as hell when we saw the price he got away for? He played for the Raiders. Man, you brought him up to me. That's why I hate
I think it was like Jonathan Hankins. I was just saying he could have been a good plug, and he went for cheap, and we thought he was going to be expensive. He went for like $2 million a year.
Right.
Like, why didn't you do that?
Why didn't you do that? So that's what Big James talking about. He ain't talking about like go getting the Donovan suit at age 38 for $8 million. He like go get Jonathan Hankins, man. Jonathan Hankins was the perfect run stopper.
I mean, and you can get a guy like just one guy, like I said. And when and here's my thing. When I asked a lot of these former Dallas Cowboys players and current, they say the same things. It's not like these players aren't in disagreements. They're saying the same thing. You don't got to go out there and spend all kind of money. The guys that played with the Cowboys, when I asked the Barry Churches, when I asked the Mario Edwards, when I asked the Jesse, when I asked them guys, they say, yeah, you can get one. You don't got to spend all that crazy money, but we don't even try to get one. We're trying to do it with solid players, or not the stars, but like the role players, and through our own. But my thing is our own good enough? Because it's been showing it's not, at least on this defensive side. So let's hopefully this draft, but that's putting a lot of stock in the draft too, isn't it? Because we got a lot of hope right now, boss. We got a lot of hope. We hoping, we already talked about this, we hoping Gallimore takes that next step. We hoping Diggs is going to be that dog. We hoping that these draft picks that we picked up are going to do this, but that's putting a lot of hope on first and second year players. You're right.
And
you're right.
Offensive guy,
let's hope it does work. I mean, we feel. Why do we feel good about our offense now? Right? Why do we feel good about our offense? Why do we feel good about the Tyron Smith and the La'el Collins and the Zach because they've been together for a while, right? Old. And then what? You're starting over again because they're in their prime years.
Right. We got guys in there is a certain time of football that you put.
Zach Martin's 30. You feel me? Tyron Smith is 30 now. You know what I mean? But they're getting older. These years, we ain't got Zeke. How do we know you got how many more years you got Zeke? You feel me? Like, these are prime years. It's time to win now. We can't keep on saying, oh, we're building through the draft and we're going to be good for the next 5 years. But while we're trying to be good for the next 5 years, we ain't winning nothing.
Facts. Because this was definitely a chip sin year, in my opinion. This is where I said, and I mean this, man, they putting a lot of pressure on Urban, bro. And I mean this, man. I don't care what your faith is. I don't care what you got going on, whoever you pray to. When you say your prayers and you pray for your mama, your daddy, your kids, your brothers and sisters, don't leave off Urban. Because he's that important, bro. He really is. If we lose him,
right,
it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it's a wrap. The season gonna get a whole lot harder. And I'm not counting on quitting, bro. You can't count on no defensive lineman that ain't drafted in the top 10. You can't. The only people that are instant impacts are top 10 players in the defensive tackles. That's why I agree with Big James. If it's one position you go ahead and overspend on, is you overspend for a mature defensive tackle that completely plugs the middle. Completely. You know? Now, everywhere else, I've gotten adjusted like Chris to sit back and trust the draft process. But I don't trust, because I've seen this too many times, where you go cheap in that middle and it break down at the wrong times. That middle broke down in the playoffs versus the Rams, y'all. Because it was working on the front end of the year, but because Rod always was cheap in that middle, always cheap. But then them injuries start catching up. And when they got to the playoffs, y'all, and that happens around December and January, where the attrition start kicking in and injuries start kicking in, and you don't have those durable monsters like Sue that's gonna give you all those games and get you through the post and still hold down the point of attack. We was busted up and beat up with a super killer offense and got demolished by the Rams on just the interior. So I believe I feel you on this one, Big James. I'm staying with you 100%, bro. I stand with you toe to toe on this one. Yeah, you got to put the chips in, bro. This is
yeah. Eventually
you got to put your chips in a major way on your weakest needs. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna show this real quick. Nah. Should we get into this? Should we still talk about these coaches, or is it too late?
Nah, cause it's. We gonna do that another day.
I'll talk about it.
You save it on your channel, then I'll come in there and listen.
I got you too. Check it out though, for real. Don't check it out.
I am,
because I'm gonna address some stuff on this D, because we talked about the out and we kept it all the way real on the them boys who was like that. We kept it 100. We did not lie. Defense.
Well, you'll be playing that for tomorrow. You'll be playing that.
There's some things about them defensive coaches, man. I'm telling you, it is.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I'm telling you,
No!
I've been looking at it, James. I'm telling you, and you know me, bro. I'm not gonna look at Kool-Aid and not measure, Doc. I'm telling you, bro. I done measured it. It's some things about it. So yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, man. And so one last time, we got David Helmy coming in Tuesday. Okay, and hopefully we know more about Howard by then. And we got RJ coming in. It's gonna be a fire show. You know us. Law go be in the building. OC go be in the building. Me and Big Game James, we still go do these Saturdays. Thank y'all for hanging with us, man, for sure. Getting prepared for training camp, because really at this point, wouldn't you say, Big Game James, that this really the diehards that's left? Only the diehards that's still getting this day for day stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the seasonal fans, they watching basketball right now.
Yeah, they're watching playoffs.
They watching playoffs. But the real diehard football fans, they still tuned in. And they gonna be ready more than everybody. Cause she's old. What you got, man, for the last word?
My last word is this. Be here Tuesday. I think that's going to be very interesting. I'm really excited to hear what the other, the guys got to say. And once again, and my last final word is this. I'm not believing the hype, man. Like, I want to. I've been hearing a lot of the things that just in what Chris was talking about today, and I want to believe that stuff, but I'm just tired of hearing it. The time is now, to me, in my opinion. I'm tired of hearing we're building for the future. I'm tired of hearing we're doing this, and I'm not saying we go in cap hell or whatever that is, but I'm tired of hearing that. It's time. The time is now. The time is now, man. I'm tired of hearing next week or next year or 2 years or 4 years or 5 years, man. The time is now. These other teams are saying the time is now. They're making the moves and they get in the Super Bowl. And you know what? Sometimes they say, we'll worry about that later. Was Jerry saying that when he got them Super Bowls? He was like, we spending and we going to get these Super Bowls. I'll worry about the other stuff later. You feel me?
Exactly.
That's when he was gung-ho, Jerry. Now we being conservative, Connie. And while we being conservative, Connie, and saving all this money and doing all that, we ain't winning nothing. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And my final word is for my boy Derek Sharp. He talking about Fisher. He said he reports from the start and a lot of secret rooms at the start. Yeah, and we do know that, and we believe that Mike Fisher has access that other people just don't have. We agree with you on that. It is what Big Game James.
Talman is right.
Yeah, Big Game James is saying he trusts the history of Stephen Jones over the rumor from Mike Fisher. You know what I mean? Which I do too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to believe that just because Mike
Jones
Fisher said it.
Long track record
Yeah,
of ignoring talent.
we've heard. And I'm not even dissing Mike Fisher at all when I say this. Not at all. This is not a diss to him.
He got real access. We know that.
But he ain't always right.
Yeah, he not always right, and sometimes he and other journalists
Sensationalize the stories.
sensational, or they sometimes are leaked bad information to throw us off. So they can even mean well. Just being honest on how it go. But sometimes, like, they really leaked to James Slater and said that they wasn't talking about getting rid of Dez. What did they do, though? So we respect Mike Fisher, man. So, it's just one of those things to where Big James is saying, and I feel him on this, that Stephen Jones likely won't do it. The only way we'll see that Howard thing happen, the only way, I mean, it's a long shot. If he is just super disgruntled at Miami, and that's one thing that can do it though. And this is dead square business. When I talked to Roy Williams, I did an interview with him in West Coast. We all did an interview, and I never forgot this. I asked him, I said, because we were talking about that money. And I said, man, what are contracts really about? And you know what he said, Big Game? Respect. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I would give it a 5% chance. You know what I mean? It's because the guaranteed money as signing is so massively different that I could see where Howard would see it as disrespectful. Byron Jones only played about 6 games for Miami, right? And wasn't playing good. I'm over here and I got 10 freaking interceptions, man. I lead the league in interceptions. And y'all paid that man $13 million more than me to sign. Like, who do you think I am? And they sometimes will get offended over money. So it could be some talks, but I'm like Big Game James to where when it come to putting pen to paper, Steven likely not go do it. Even with the number one corner. Just keep it real. We saw him pass on so many people that would have been perfect fits for us because he builds through the draft. So I've learned to kind of accept it, and I sit back and I just kind of rock my team regardless. But I'm like Big Game James on this. I'm going to believe his history over Mike's rumor. And that's just straight up. And that's my final word. So, man, we go ahead, Big. What you say?
No, I'm good.
All right, man. So we
It's all you,
out.
big dog.
Man, we thank y'all for all the super chats, man. We thank y'all for supporting us, man. Y'all make sure y'all here on Tuesday when we get the whole team together for the final word, and we go bring y'all that good juice, and then it's go crank up like crazy going into training camp. We getting super geared up for training camp. The final word, Big Game James, Boss Cowboy Sports, Loud Nation, and OC. We all gonna be doing a lot of special stuff to bring y'all content around training camp. And you know to stay glued on the last word, and especially Silver and Blue Nation with Boss Cowboy Sports, because this is one thing you got to know about Big Game. Anybody that been following Big Game, know this. He gonna say what he see, and he don't care. He don't got to agree with you. He ain't got to agree with me. He ain't gonna never try to fit in. He gonna say what he sees. So he's not gonna be like the typical media people who just getting hype off big plays. He gonna be telling you what's going on from the one-on-ones, from all the stuff that we really want to know about, not just the splash gummy stuff. So y'all really do got to stay with us, man. We gonna be putting on the show out there. Believe that. All right?
For sure.
For sure. We out.